University for tonight's debate as well. Governor, good to see you.
Good to see you, David.
How do you define the challenge for Senator McCain tonight?
Well, I think the challenge, really the opportunity, is for him to address the American people from his heart on leading issues. The economy obviously is the main issue for Americans right now. Senator McCain's got a great plan, but he needs to make sure that that gets conveyed in a way that reassures people, and he can do that. He's got the wisdom, the experience, the judgment, the maturity, not the rhetoric about those characteristics, but the actual record and life experience. Barack Obama does not, and that those labels being applied to him ring hollow. And so Senator McCain has to highlight and feature those differences tonight.
But Governor, you and I have been having these conversations since the convention in St. Paul. The reality is there have been a couple of important debates so far, and the American people have rendered a judgment in the polling, and that is the advantage goes to Obama on the very issues, the economy that you're talking about.
Well, of course, the economy took a very dramatic downward turn in the last few weeks and was in trouble even before that, David. But it's clear that Senator McCain is going to have to equalize and exceed the expectations of people on that issue. It's the #1 issue. But the overall campaign is not limited to just that. There are issues of national security. But the overarching theme here is Barack Obama is somebody who 3 years ago was a state legislator. I mean, do you really want that? But also, as importantly, if he gets elected president, the Congress of the United States and Barack Obama combined will be a runaway liberal train. There will be no check. There will be no balance. That will not be good for the United States of America. John McCain can not only bring that check and balance, but he can work across party lines to make sure there's not gridlock and get things done. He will bring the agenda back to common sense in the mainstream. Well, that's a theme that'll come up tonight as well.
Yeah, one-party rule. The last time we had that in Washington was when the Republicans were in charge much of the last 8 years. Senator Joe Biden on the campaign trail today raising that point.
When Barack Obama is president, we're not going to be waiting, to quote John, for our luck to change. We're going to do what Americans always, we're going to change our luck. That's what Americans do. Change our luck.
Is there any way, Governor, for Senator McCain to break the link with George W. Bush, with President Bush? That's the biggest issue here. Our recent poll shows 61% of voters still think it'll be more of the same of George Bush if John McCain's president.
David, I think there are two ways to do that. One is to recite the differences that he's had with President Bush, and they are many, and they are numerous, and they are deep. He has a reputation as a maverick for a reason. That's because he's been a maverick, even relative to the administration. But as importantly, if they want to tag Senator McCain with the Bush presidency, you have to keep in mind the current Congress, run by the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid, is about half as popular as President Bush. And if Barack Obama becomes a rubber stamp for that, Katie bar the door. It will be very ugly, and I don't think it'll be good for the country, and I don't think most middle-of-the-road voters, ticket splitters, and undecideds would like that either. So that's a point that has to be driven home. I
want to ask you about this general argument about Obama's judgment, about his record, and about the idea of one-party rule. This is from the New York Times CBS poll, and the question was, do these candidates understand the needs of people like you? Look at the numbers here. 64% say yes for Obama. Just 43% say yes for McCain. Where do you think McCain has failed thus far to communicate the kind of message that you say he's got, and an effective one? Why isn't that being communicated effectively to people such that they feel that they connect to him?
Well, first of all, the environment's been challenging for Republicans. Anytime you have a situation like the current one, it's an uphill battle. But Senator McCain is somebody who's got a record that allows him to break free of that, I think, or at least have more running room than a traditional candidate might in this environment. Clearly, though, David, the challenge for him is he has to connect on the economy. There's no question about that. But I also think raise the issue of this runaway train that would be undivided government. And lastly, judgment, character, wisdom, experience. John McCain has it. Senator Obama does not.
Governor Tim Pawlenty from Minnesota at the debate side. Governor, thanks as always.